NASA just named its new class of flight directors, 4 of them actually, and one grew up right here in Lubbock. Diane Dailey joins us now via Skype from the Houston area. So Diane, first of all, thanks for your time. You are part of an elite group. Only 101 people have held this job title in the entire history of NASA. Can you give me an idea of how much work it took to get to this position?
Sure. First off, it's great to talk to you. Thanks. It's an incredible honor. There are really a lot of incredible people that I work with at NASA, and so to be among this group is just an honor, and I'm humbled to do it. To get to this point, I started back at NASA in 2006 and started with life support systems on the space station. So I had to learn all about the systems on the space station and operations and how do we fly spacecraft to keep humans alive. And then from that point, I took a kind of a shift in my career over to a group that worked with visiting vehicles. And I put in a lot of work specifically for the NASA SpaceX Demo 1 and Demo 2 missions, which is the mission that launched back in May, where we put Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley on a Dragon rocket and launched them up to the International Space Station.
So for those who don't know, what are your job responsibilities as a flight director? What do you do?
Well, so I think the shortest answer to that is that the flight director is in charge of mission control. So if you've ever seen Apollo 13, the guy in the white vest, that's Gene Kranz, that's the flight director. So when it comes to the real-time operations, the flight director gets the final call.
For the sake of transparency, I want people to know Diane and I are old friends. We go back 25 years, junior high, high school. So I remember, Diane, back in school, you used, as long as I've known you, you wanted to work for NASA. And I remember you talked about, I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to be the first woman on Mars. And we're like, okay, Diane, but look at you. You have followed this trajectory. You've gone after exactly what you wanted. And it's really inspiring. At what point did you decide, instead of going into space, I just want to be in charge of everything?
I love that quote that says, shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. I think that really applies for me in that, I wanted to be an astronaut. I didn't really know all of the different roles that there were at NASA. And so once I got there and I started learning about, what goes into human spaceflight, there are a lot of people involved in some really incredible opportunities there. And I've always been passionate about leadership. And so when I learned more about the role of the flight director, I thought, man, that sounds like a great fit for me. And so that kind of when that shift happened. And so now I'm not going to be flying on the rockets, but I'm going to be helping lead the teams that get us there. And that's pretty great.
So Diane, you spent a lot of your formative years here in Lubbock. How would you say maybe Lubbock or the education you got at Trinity Christian, where we graduated from, how did that prepare you for a career at NASA?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I was in school, we had to write this paper in our senior year about whatever subject that we wanted. And I actually chose leadership. And so for that paper, I went and interviewed a lot of city leaders throughout the community to kind of learn about what makes them successful as leaders. So across lots of different industries and backgrounds. And I took some of those lessons that I learned, namely that, leaders continue to have to learn to be successful. There's no point where you've arrived. So even though I'm a flight director, I haven't, check the box, I'm a leader. It just means it's an opportunity to continue learning and growing. And so I really am grateful for that experience through Trinity and through, that just writing that paper and getting to know the folks throughout the community to realize that no matter where you are, leadership is kind of across the board. And those are really some foundational truths that I've held with me.
Was that the iSearch paper for Mrs. Garrett's class?
That was the iSearch paper.
Do you know that paper that we wrote? That's why I'm in the job I'm in now too. It was writing that, learning about it, and getting that encouragement that led me into this career. So do we owe our careers to Miss Garrett? Is that what we're saying?
I think that's what we just realized. Yeah.
And it seems like you're taking this role at a really exciting time in space exploration with NASA's partnership with SpaceX. What do you think we're going to see in terms of space travel in the next 5, 8, 10 years?
Yeah, it is absolutely incredible time. So we are continuing our commercial partnerships. We've got SpaceX and Boeing building commercial rockets to take commercial vehicles to take crews to the International Space Station. And then even later this year, we have our first launch of Artemis program, which is going to be returning us to the moon. So we are going to be seeing the first woman and the next man put their feet on the moon in the next, 2024 and the next coming years. And it's just really exciting.
And as we watch all of this play out, we are going to know that These men and women are in good hands. Congratulations on this position, and we just are going to be watching. Congratulations, Diane. You've made so many of us proud.
Thank you so much.
We are going to return with more Good Day Lubbock after this break.